What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So in today's video, we got to talk about the play-in tournament. As you guys know, the play-in tournament will be starting on April 16th. So with that being said, we got to do a lot of breakdowns for these different teams within the play-in tournament. Now for this video, we will be doing a breakdown on the LA Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans. So without further ado, let's switch over. But before we do switch over, I do want to shout out all of my subscribers, man. Y'all been going crazy on the most recent videos. The videos are about to ramp up because the play-in tournament and also the playoffs are coming up. So, hey, we about to push out all these videos as soon as possible. And, hey, let's get it. All right, so as you guys can see, we switched over, and right here we do have the breakdown for the play-in tournament. Like I was saying, the play-in tournament does start on April 16th through the 19th. So man, shit about to get real quick. So let's scroll down so that we can see the teams that will be playing each other within the play-in tournament. So at the top, at the 9th and 10th seed for the West, we got the Kings versus the Warriors. Be on the lookout for that breakdown. I'm gonna try to release both breakdowns today for the West, and then for the East, I'll have two breakdowns that'll come out as well tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. But anyways, for the actual play-in tournament game that we will be talking about today, let's talk about this play-in tournament game right here. The number 7 seeded Pelicans versus the number 8 seeded Lakers. Now, when it comes to this breakdown, the things that I try to look at to base my judgment on which team I feel like will win or lose is, of course, the stats, but also their prior run-ins with each other. So with that being said, I do just want to show you guys the prior run-ins and how those games went against each other. So let's switch over and let's take a look at the Lakers schedule so that we can see how their run-ins with the Pelicans went. All right, so as you guys can see right here, we have the Los Angeles Lakers schedule. Well, regular season schedule to be more specific. And let's just take a look at the run-ins that they had with the New Orleans Pelicans. So we go scroll through here, and once we see the Pelicans, we'll stop. So right here at the very top, we got the New Orleans Pelicans. It looks like they got a dub against them. I'm gonna scoot that up a little bit. So this is their first game against them. It looks like they got a dub. They actually blew them out 133-89. And just based on what I can see, it looks like they had all their players in this game. They had James went for 30, and it looks like Anthony Davis had 15 rebounds. But we do gotta look a little deeper and see if when they actually played this team, did the New Orleans Pelicans have their players? Let's see if we could get that information. It doesn't look like we can, unfortunately. But let's go back. Let's take a look at the next game against the Pelicans. So currently the Lakers are 1-0 against the New Orleans Pelicans. So right there, that's the first game we just seen. Right over here. Let's keep going. We run into the New Orleans Pelicans again right here. So they ended up losing, and this looks like it was a blowout. So it looks like the New Orleans Pelicans actually blew out the Lakers for the second game. So now it is 1-1. One game for the Lakers, one game for the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's keep moving down. All right, so the third game against the New Orleans Pelicans, it looks like the Lakers got the dub. And once again, it looks like it was pretty much a blowout, 139-122. So far, it's 2-1 Lakers. Let's see if they had a fourth game in this regular season. Let's see. All right, and yes, they had a fourth game, as you guys can see at the very bottom. And this was actually the last game of the regular season, and they got another dub, 124-108. So once again, pretty much a blowout. So that's definitely interesting. They were 3-1 against the New Orleans Pelicans. Definitely something interesting to note. Now, let's switch over and let's look at the stats for the Los Angeles Lakers and the New Orleans Pelicans. And I'll give my thoughts on what I feel like will be the most important factor within this play-in game. So let's switch over. We have switched over, as you guys can see. And let's just take a look at the Los Angeles Lakers stats for this year. So when it comes to their points per game, they are 6 out of 30. So they do score a lot of points. That's pretty good. When it comes to their offensive rating, they are 15th out of 30, so middle of the pack. When it comes to opponents' points per game, they are 23rd out of 30, so their defense, I wouldn't say is that great, and I'm basing that also off of their defensive rating, which is 16th out of 30. So overall, it seems like this team is the middle of the pack when it comes to both offense and defense. Now, the thing that I feel like will be the most important thing when it comes to this LA Lakers team is, number one, if Anthony Davis will be available. As we know, it looks like Anthony Davis, he kind of got injured in the final game of the season. I don't know if he really hurt bad or not, but we gonna have to see. Also, they don't got Christian Wood. They don't got Jared Vanderbilt. So that's something else to note. But just when it comes to like the team stats and things of that nature, I think the most important stat for this team will be this right here, free throw attempts. As you guys can see, they are number 2 when it comes to free throw attempts, so they get to the line a lot. If the New Orleans Pelicans play great defense and don't foul, then they definitely got a good chance at beating the LA Lakers. But I just don't know, man. I just don't know. With them being number 2 when it comes to free throw attempts, you know, they definitely put pressure on, you know, teams when to foul them. So you definitely got to be careful if you're the New Orleans Pelicans. Try not to foul, because that's where they make a lot of their money at. That's definitely where they make a lot of their money. Also, when it comes to three-point percentage, will this team hit a lot of threes? As you guys can see, they're 8th in the league at percentage, but only 28th when it comes to attempts. So it'll be interesting to see if they do, you know, hit a lot of threes, or shoot a lot of threes. And if they do end up shooting a lot of threes, they may have a decent chance at, you know, winning this game. So that's definitely interesting. Another thing, let's talk about the players. When it comes to the players, who do I feel like would be the player that can eat the most on this team? Me personally, I think you got to start with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, if he's healthy, he could definitely put a lot of pressure on this New Orleans Pelicans team. So that's somebody to note. Also, Rui Hachimura. I want to definitely see what Rui Hachimura could bring, man. He's been having a pretty solid year, and he's been picking it up lately. So I could definitely see Rui Hachimura taking advantage of certain mismatches, and that should be interesting. I also want to see what Spencer Dinwiddie could do. Can Spencer Dinwiddie put some pressure on CJ McCollum? I think that's definitely important. Spencer Dinwiddie putting pressure on CJ McCollum so that he could try to, you know, make him tired, because as we know, CJ McCollum is one of the best offensive players on that New Orleans Pelicans team. So with all that being said, let's switch over to the New Orleans Pelicans so that we could talk about what I feel like their most important aspects on their team is and what they can do to win this game. So let's scroll up. Let's take a look at their stats. So when it comes to the New Orleans Pelicans, they are 13th when it comes to points per game. When it comes to their offensive rating, they are 11th out of 30th. When it comes to their opponent's points per game, they are 8th out of 30th. So they got pretty good defense. And when it comes to their defensive rating, they're 7th out of 30. So overall, they're pretty much like close to top 10 when it comes to everything. Certain things such as the defense and opponent's points per game, they are top 10 in. Other ones such as the points per game and offensive rating, they're on the verge of being top 10. So overall, I'd say they're a pretty well-balanced team, offensively and defensively. Let's scroll down. Let's see what the team working with. Let's look at the injury report as well. So far it says there are no current injuries to report. That's definitely good. And let's see what this team has some good quality in. So when it comes to their 3-point percentage, they're 4th in the league. So definitely a great 3-point shooting team. When it comes to 3-point attempts, they're 24th. So you like to see that be up a little more just based on how good they shoot it. Another good thing is that they're 9th when it comes to free throw attempts. So they do get to the free throw line a decent amount. So that's definitely good to note as well. When it comes to blocks, they are only 22nd, so they don't really get too many blocks. But let's go down to some of the players, and I'll just talk about some of the key players. So like I was saying before, I think one of the key players is going to be CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram. Just because those two players, they are fairly good at making their own shot, especially CJ McCollum. I do think that he's one of those players that could definitely get hot and cause a team hella problems. Also, if you just take a look right over here, that 3-point percentage, he's shooting 8.4 threes at 42%. If he gets hot, man, that's going to be a problem. That's why I was saying with the Lakers, on the Lakers side, Spencer Dinwiddie, Austin Reeves, you got to really put pressure on CJ McCollum. Try to get him in foul trouble, things of that nature, because you don't want him, not really having to work hard on defense and then using all that energy on offense, hitting you with 8 threes per game at a 42% shooting rate. Also, Zion Williamson. Let's talk about him, man. But Zion Williamson, he got to get to the free throw line, man. He definitely got to get to the free throw line. As you guys can see, 7.1 attempts, and that's just based on his athleticism and his strength. You got to put pressure on the Lakers. Make them defend you. Make them foul you, especially if you're going at a player like AD. We know AD, he is the core of the defense for the Lakers. So if I'm Zion, I'm getting into his chest, man. I'm trying to get him into foul trouble as much as possible. Herbert Jones, man, we got to make sure that he plays some great defense and hit his threes. As you guys can see, 41% on 3.6 attempts when it comes to three. So with Herbert Jones and Trey Murphy, I just need y'all to, play good defense and hit y'all threes when y'all open. Trey Murphy, same thing, shoot a lot of threes, 7.8 on 38%. So just overall, I say what the main focal point would be for the New Orleans Pelicans is Zion tried to get AD in foul trouble, because once you get him in foul trouble, then that opens up the court more, especially the inside. Also, when it comes to the role players, the Herbert Jones, the Trey Murphys, the CJ McCollums, hit your open threes. Hit your open threes. On the Lakers end, if I'm AD, I'm trying to work when it comes to getting in that paint. You got Jonas Valanciunas in there. Jonas Valanciunas, he's a good center, but he's not as quick as you. He's not as fast as you. So I'm definitely putting pressure on Jonas Valanciunas if I'm Anthony Davis. LeBron James, keep doing what you've been doing. You've been playing pretty good all season, so keep doing what you're doing. D'Angelo Russell, you gotta attack CJ McCollum. You know, get him in a post. Use your size. Same with Austin Reeves. Attack CJ McCollum. Use that size. Use all that length and the advantage and the physical advantages you got to try to put pressure on CJ McCollum, because if you don't, he can cook you. He can definitely cook you. But hey, man, with all of that being said, that is my breakdown on this play-in tournament game. Lakers first, the New Orleans Pelicans. Who do I think will win? I got the Lakers just because that's my favorite team. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not thinking objectively about this because this is my favorite team. But hey, I just gave y'all an objective breakdown. So y'all use all the information that I gave y'all to place your bets on who you think will win. Hey, like I said before, be on the lookout for a second video. I will be releasing that breakdown between the Kings and the Golden State Warriors. So be on the lookout for that. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, you already know what to do. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.